Cool. Let's take a look at a video. This is Fortnite Too Violent. Why Fortnite?
Dude, have you seen Fortnite?
Is it really that violent?
Look at the picture of it up there. It's cartoony as fuck.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's like Nerf gun fight. Where dudes are gliding around on futuristic gliders and using these futuristic jump pads and shit.
With games like GTA and fucking Hatred and all. I mean, there's tons of games that are just violent as fuck. And then they're going to go after this little cartoony looking bullshit?
Fortnite is like Call of Duty for little kids. I shit you not. It's like Saturday morning cartoon Call of Duty. Where the dudes are all, nobody ever really dies because they're back for the next game, and it's just like a match to see who can hit the other dude with his Nerf gun quicker.
I just got up and already you're making me lose hope. Keep it up. Also, take some of my money. Cool. I will. And I'll give that in exchange. I'll take that in exchange for the naivete that I destroyed within you. You thought today was going to be a good day? You were wrong.
When it comes to fucking shooters, especially popular ones, Fortnite is probably the least bloody, least violent one in the batch.
See. Maybe that's why they're objecting. Maybe they're saying it's it's too cartoony, so it appeals to little kids, but then when they play it, it's so violent.
First, let's move on. It was The Sims, then Minecraft, and Pokemon Go. Actually...
Wow, that's
what kind of history?
Yeah, that's the history of video games according to Australia.
First, there was The Sims.
Yeah,
then
The
Minecraft, then Pokemon Go, now Fortnite. A highly abridged history.
Wow, did you guys just get video games with The Sims?
Oh my goodness gracious me.
If you're my age, first it was Pac-Man, but never mind. Now the latest video game craze is Fortnite. It's free, addictive, violent, and kids love it. Should you be worried?
Spoiler? No.
It's currently one of the most popular video games in the world, with 46 million players worldwide.
46 million people playing that shit?
Yeah, it's blown up. It is the biggest thing.
Wow.
Very good. Fortnite is a cartoon.
All right, so I'm seeing nothing at all.
So you see how cartoony it is? There's no blood in it. When you headshot somebody, they just fall over and disappear. It's presented like a fucking game. It's like the Hunger Games, but in a cartoon world.
So why are kids as young as 9 playing the violent game?
Parents should absolutely be paying attention to the rating system.
Tonight, a warning from the experts.
There's GTA.
Playing violent video games.
Look, you're dead.
But why fucking... I'm sorry, why Fortnite, though?
Because there's nothing else to clutch their pearls about. I don't know. This is like...
And listen to that music they're playing.
There's nothing in the game like that. Like, the music they're playing over it would be out of place in this game. This game is presented like a total epic cartoon quest thing.
It looks
so kiddie.
Fucking, yeah, it's so nerfed.
You can dress your dude up in all kinds of cool costumes, Your glider can be like a big fucking happy face or whatever the fuck. You can design your armor. You're always back again. Deaths aren't for real. It's just to see who's better.
What the fuck is wrong with Australia? I thought you motherfuckers were supposed to be tough.
No, dude, this isn't just Australia, though. I got to be honest with you. There are people clutching their pearls about this shit. Maybe not. Fucking Fortnite, but the video game pearl clutchers never stop, dude.
Yeah, but
they
usually
never stop.
Usually, in the past, I've at least understood why they were mad.
You know what? Sometimes I don't.
Really?
This isn't the first example of people. I've seen news stories talking about Kirby being too violent and disturbing for children. Because he eats his enemies and absorbs them and shit. And I've seen discussions about, but Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, is it violent? In the 80s, that was a big thing. The Legend of Zelda is a cartoony dude with a cartoony sword killing cartoony monsters. Is it too much? I shit you not. If they'd have known that video games were going to be a cultural phenomenon, they would have been like, Pong, is the ball abused in this situation? What does this say to the kids that are playing it?
I'm going to listen to this in the tub. Help me to lose hope in all things while I scrub my man sack. All right, we will. Wow, I can't believe this.
Because you know what, dude?
Dylan.
I'll be honest with you, dude. The drum beat behind this type of shit isn't censorship of games like individually. The people they just don't come out and say they just hate video games. The people that do this type of shit just don't like any video game. They can find anything about a video game that's too violent, too exploitative, too fucking pattern.
Plus the
filled.
fucking, the mom at home whose kid is addicted to Fortnite and she wants some fucking basis to object to it.
Right, so she's
just providing that, like, are you tired of your kid playing that stupid fucking Fortnite? Well, here's why it's bad. It's violent. Your kid's going to play Fortnite, and then they're going to go on a rampage cutting kittens' head offs throughout the neighborhood.
Is 9. They're in the middle of a game of Fortnite.
Fortnite.
It's a strategic thinking game. What he said.
After the break on a current affair, the kids
I agree.
can't take their eyes off their screens. They're concerned parents and advice from the experts.
They can't take their eyes off the screens.
Well, if they do, they
like
get shot.
zombies bewitched by a talisman. It's like,
No, that little kid was actually right, though. I don't like Fortnite, but it is a very strategic game. You have to be careful about how you play it, or you die right away. But if you're careful and strategic about how you play, you end up winning. So that's why kids are playing it, because it's a lot of fun. That environment is a lot of fun and very competitive. And it's a king of the hill thing. So it starts with 100 players on the big map. And at the end, there's one.
I don't understand if you ban something, it will just increase demand for the video game. So glad I live in America. Don't think that makes you immune.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
We already have lawmakers in the Trump administration touting how, when they don't want guns to be blamed, so they're constantly looking for a different scapegoat. And they're like, ooh, video games.
There have been pushes to ban and huge boycotts of many video games since I've been a video game dude.
Oh yeah, I mean we've looked at news clips that are basically just exactly the same as this story from the Nintendo era. Like, oh, it's turning your kids into zombies.
Yep,
and then,
it's rotting their brains. Yeah,
Mortal Kombat came out and it was like, have video games gone too far?
It started before Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
There was talk about how violent Metroid was. She's got guns and look at how because when the big monster, it dies and blood comes out.
Yeah.
And they're just like, look at all this gore and violence. And it's just these people have always been the same. They always will be the same.
They'll still be doing this story in 20
Fortnite
more years.
is the latest video game kids can't get enough of. But when does a bit of harmless fun
Fortnite
turn
warning.
into an unhealthy obsession?
I don't know when. Whenever their mom gets pissed, they won't take out the trash, I guess, right?
For teenagers. What's happening? But is being widely played by younger children like Michael, who is 11.
Yeah, you have to make sure no one kills you.
So you have to kill others.
Oh my God.
So you have to kill others.
You have to kill others. Whoa, what a dishonest framing. You guys should look. It's like you guys look at Corey Lewandowski later on stream. It will make you rage. I don't know what that is. I don't think I have it. You gotta kill others. It's like being like, oh, you gotta kill the pawn in chess. Oh, you gotta kill the other king's men and his knights. Lost my job. Your challenge is to fully convince me to kill myself. You obviously don't want to kill yourself because you would have given me more than $5 to convince you. You know I need at least $25,000 to talk someone into suicide. I think Fortnite made that guy violent against himself.
They just fall to the ground and die. It's not as brutal.
That's not brutal?
I wouldn't say brutal.
It's not so much angry, he's just frustrated.
Nikki is Michael's mum.
Come on,
He's frustrated.
She's concerned about the impact the violent video game...
Maybe the reason he's getting frustrated is because he's turning 11 and shit.
Yeah, his testes are starting to drop and his mom's starting to be a nagging bitch and he's starting to care about how he looks and other girls at the school and shit.
And like the hormones are starting to turn on a little bit. Like maybe that has more to do with his change in personality than Fortnite.
Yeah. 11-year-olds since time began, man, have been going through the Fortnite change, you know? You're just a happy-go-lucky kid till you're about 10, then you start playing Fortnite. No, that's not what it is.
May have on her son.
It was almost like he needed a fix, and that worries me a lot.
I didn't want to play it until
Yeah, because I'm sure you don't have anything that you're addicted to, you fucking bitch. I'm sure you don't have anything you're obsessed with.
Sounds like a smoker. He needed a fix. That's just all there is to it.
It's sad.
You know, I was concerned about this video game right from the start. Right from the start, I thought he was developing a bad habit.
It's like the fucking judge that, you know, sentences someone to prison for shooting up heroin or something, and then he goes and gets drunk at his house, and he's like, I don't see no different. I mean, you know, I see a difference between these two activities, you know?
It's like, say what?
I mean, yeah, like that bitch doesn't have some show she's obsessed with or some
of course she
fucking
does.
series of books or whatever the fuck. Everyone has interests that they're fucking obsessed about. It's okay. Having obsessions with things is part of fucking life. It's healthy. Quit acting like it's some weird deviation from the fucking human norm.
And now I'm addicted.
Just because it has those sort of colourful graphics and that cartoonish style doesn't mean that it's okay for your kids.
Seamus Byrne is a gaming expert.
Well, you know what? That's
He
up to
says the
parents
game
to
has-
fucking decide. If you don't want your kids playing,
No,
you know,
Paul, that's up to the news to decide, Paul.
I don't blame some parents for not wanting it, because I know that some kids would just do nothing but play Fortnite 24 hours a day, all hours of every day if you let them. So I don't blame some parents for not wanting their kids to play that type of shit. Kids probably would have a richer childhood if they were out riding their bikes with their fucking friends and shit.
It's not the news's job to do that. And even even with the fucking parents and shit, I mean, if the kid really wants to be in there playing Fortnite and you send them outside, you know what's going to happen? They're going to fucking mope around outside wishing they were playing Fortnite. You know how I know? Because I was that kid. I wasn't with Fortnite, but, you know, like if I was like sitting there playing fucking Super Mario World or some shit.
But that's the thing. You'd already had it established in your life that was something. So if people keep their kids from playing video games, I'm totally with that. If they force it, eventually.
Yeah, that's a parent's fucking choice up to a certain age.
Yeah, if your parents had been like, you know what, TJ, you done fucked up the last time, boy. We're taking all your goddamn consoles and throwing them in the fucking, we're taking them to the Salvation Army and we're going to sell them.
Yeah.
You know? And they stuck by that and didn't let you have access to any of that shit. Eventually, you'd find other shit to do.
I mean, sure.
And it would probably be more constructive than sitting there in a puddle of your own sweat playing fucking Fortnite all day.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, like, everyone has that, though, in their lives.
Sure, but
I mean,
there are ways to waste time that are more constructive than, you know, I get why parents don't like it. I'm all for their right. I just hate the dishonest framing of the news, acting like the problem is the game.
It's still dishonest when the parents do, like, because to say that they're spending too much of their time doing it, that's an honest argument. To say that it's like harming them with its depictions of violence is bullshit.
Well, but that's the thing. Instead of doing a news story about like, hey, parents, it's a bad thing to let your kids sit and play Fortnite 12 hours a day. They frame it like, look how violent Fortnite is. Bull fucking shit. Quit framing it like it's Fortnite's fault and start talking about the real root of the problem, which is parents that let their little fucking 8-year-olds play Fortnite.
I'm going to catch up on these real quick. Jake Bolt says, consume Fortnite, gave $5, thank you. And Sundown with a T, silent T at the beginning, also gave $5 and had no comment.
Sundown. Tsunami.
A couple people gave Streamlabs, well, just one actually. I love how they portray these parents to be so helpless and weak compared to their fucking kid. Yeah, I mean, I think we were just talking about that pretty extensively.
Yeah, that fat chick in there whose son was playing it, she was like, she objects to his use of the game, and he's sitting in the room with his face stuffed in it. I'm like, she really objects? Why doesn't she be a parent and take that fucking TV away from him?
Yeah, or just say, get off the fucking computer.
Yeah, take the monitor and just fucking put it up somewhere.
Go read a book for a couple hours, or go fucking build a fort in the backyard or some bullshit. Yeah, anyway, let's see what else they got to say.
Shocked parents because of its light rating. Violent video games are usually rated MA 15+.
Yeah, because they usually have gore and stuff. Are parents not aware of the ESRB rating system?
Where it's a guideline rather
I guess
than
not. I don't know what Australia's system.
Well, pause it real quick, because that's part of the controversy here is that Fortnite is rated pretty low because there's no fucking blood and
there's
gore
no
in it.
blood. There's no fucking, I mean, it's like a shooter, I guess.
So it's rated like T instead of, or whatever I don't keep up with it because I don't ever look at that shit. I play games because they're fun. But if I had kids, I would learn them.
Yeah, we're too old to give a shit. I mean, honestly, when I was a little kid, though, that rating system, that wasn't like, ooh, this is going to help parents figure out what games to keep away from you. No, that was to tell kids what games were they wanted to play, because you always wanted to play the games with the M on them. I agree with Paul that video games can be addictive, but literally anything is addictive. I just think it's an addictive personality problem. I mean, there's certainly a lot of people. I mean, games have a fucking higher ratio of people addicted to them than, stabbing yourself in the fucking abdomen or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
certain activities lend themselves to addiction more than others.
And certain technologies, too. There's a lot to be said about the developing child brain and having exposure to the technology that we have. We don't really know what the end result is yet because we haven't had full studies, but we know it's bad. Like to have your kid in front of a fucking iPad all the time.
Last of Us 2 is going to freak out the media next. Literal decapitations and disemboweling in the E3 trailer with animated intestines plus lesbians. So that should piss everybody off. That's good. Sounds fun to me. I don't know.
in this game in the way that some other things do. So when
why is this guy an expert again?
Parents are worried about
he wears glasses.
stranger danger type issues of online games. It doesn't have those kinds of chat tools as well.
They can actually show higher rates of aggression themselves.
Dr. Philip Tam is a child and adolescent psychiatrist who specialises in gaming. He says adolescents with conditions like ADHD, anxiety or depression are most vulnerable.
Run, get the loot chest.
Another big problem is
they're the most vulnerable because they're socially maladapted because of their impairments, and so they want to play video games instead of socializing with other kids. And I also, I'm sure these two kids resent fucking you being like, these kind of defective kids are the most vulnerable. By the way, look at these two. Kind of like implying that they've got that going on.
You could touch this photo up like this, like pause here digitally and make these kids playing any video game at any era in the history of console video gaming. These could be two kids playing Atari or fucking the NES. And this fucking news story could be about, you know, how detrimental, you know, it just never ends with these people.
Love your content. Greetings from Sweden. Thank you.
Oh man, dude. Can I go live with you?
In Sweden? You want to live in Sweden?
Yeah, I want to get out of this fucking joint, dude.
You were just talking earlier about how you loved America so much.
I don't love it anymore. I had a burst of patriotism and then it's gone.
It's still inside you and you know it. That was a genuine part of your being, dude.
It really was.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Paul was ranting and raving earlier about how America's the coolest country, and all you European fuckers are lame.
It's true.
To excess of their real-world activities. So there's a detriment in their schooling, in their healthy sleeping pattern.
All right, I've had enough of this. It's the same fucking news story I've seen a million times from a million different eras of video games. And movies, too.
It's like,
you know what was always weird to me as a kid? Is like, I could go into a bookstore as a little kid and buy any fucking book I wanted to. And like, I remember reading things as like a little kid that were way more gory and graphic and brutal and violent.
And sexually explicit.
Yeah, than anything you can see in a movie, than anything you can play in a video game. but because it's written, for some reason, I don't know if that makes it okay necessarily, but it seems like it's way more tolerated.
I do see a difference, though, because the written word does nothing but engage your imagination.
Right.
The video game portrays it for you in front of your eyes. So think about a young mind reading something like that.
All Australians look like asshole kids that would always remind the teacher they didn't pick up the homework. Wouldn't let me say curse words. Sorry about that. What do you guys think is the motivation for misleading representation of video games? I mean, I think we already got into it. I think it's just busybody parents that want some fucking validation for the most part.
Yeah. Just like Puritans, fake moralizers that want to blame society's ills on something that doesn't include their fat asses. So they're just like, nope, it's the games, it's the movies, it's the music.
It's not any of my failings as a parent. That's
no,
for sure.
It can't be me sitting around all day.
I mean, your kid could just genetically be a fucking prick, too. I mean, you know, some people are just born assholes.
That is true.
You know, it's a real thing. I mean, it's this idea that people are born blank slates and that how they're raised totally determines their personality. That's bullshit. I think there's a combination going on there, but, you know, we can argue about the percentages. Well, it's this much nature and it's this much nurture, but I think it's definitely both. I don't know exactly the ratios involved. But yeah, some people are just born pricks. So maybe you just got a rotten fucking kid, you know? You just got a rotten, shitty kid, and you just got to do the best you can do.
That whole nature-nurture argument always bothers me.
Why?
Because I don't really think there is a difference. Like, everybody is a combination of nature and nurture, and how much is in each person depends on the strength of the nature and the strength of the nurture.
That's true, because, I mean, you might have... You might be less prone to outside influence than another person, so you could have a different ratio than the next person over.
Exactly. Or you could have a really low, nature excuse to have depression. Maybe you don't have the genes for depression. You know, you don't have that proclivity, but you're fucking raised like shit, so your nurture is very negative, and you end up with it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't really...
Yeah, it's a very complicated question. But people, I mean, it's another one of those things where I view it as kind of like, I'm a hammerist, well, I'm a screwdriverist. It's like, no, there's both of those things are involved. You know, it seems like there's a lot of situations in human society that are presented as dichotomies, like it's this or that, and usually it's this and that.
There's something about the human brain that likes that. This or that. This or that.
Way or that way.
Yep.
There's no way.
Two choices.
Two choice. Yeah, we do. We set up a lot of these. I mean, like our whole political system is based on.
Why do you think?
False dichotomy
obviously, that's why that is.
Two choice.
2 men enter, 1 man leave.
YouTube makes it hard for creators to make money on this platform, so I appreciate your support through PayPal or through Patreon. Links to both can be found below in the description section for this video. And once again, thank you.